on top of that, I mean, when you talk about the overall price of medical care, so initially when this happened, like most people, when I was in the hospital, I was like, how the fuck am I going to pay for this? I mean, I knew I had medical insurance through Cairo, and it happened in front of their building. Does this make it them liable for it? Or like, how does this whole work? But I got to a point where I was like, I just won't think about it. I'll just trust that it's probably all going to work out. And then my dad was in the Navy, so we have USAA.
Yeah.
And we had some sort of like USAA homeowners permit type thing, which like would cover person being in an accident. And I was like, okay, all right. So, and they're a great company. I know that'll all work out and everything. So I then, a couple months later, as I'm still kind of recuperating, hobbling around the apartment, taking a lot of naps, working with a walker and everything, I got a call from USAA, and they were like, since you are not living at the address that's associated with this, we are not going to be able to cover this. I was like, okay, what does that mean next? And it all just kind of got fuzzy, and also dealing with a whole bunch of like intricate health insurance stuff while your brain is still trying to heal took a little bit too much.
It's hard for anyone.
It's hard for anyone. Yeah. Right. But, then one day we got a bill. And I'm sure I still have it. I have all of the paperwork, but we got a bill, and I need to double check because I'm pretty sure it was for $197,000. If it wasn't 197, it was at least 97. It was close to $100,000, and it was at least to that point where you open it and you look at it, you're like, what? I'm not gonna. And it just kind of followed me for a while. That was a really hard thing as well. You know, I was trying to get back into work. My wife had taken this, huge sabbatical from her job to deal with anxiety and depression right as I got into my accident. So we ended up just being kind of these bumps on a log on a couch for a couple of months, just trying to kind of make it through the days, quite frankly. I mean, she was very helpful, very attentive. I was constantly trying to do more than I typically should. I got really good with pain. That was one of the cool things that I pulled out of it, is that I have a much different relationship with pain than I ever had before. Needles don't bother me. I was sent home with like a 2-month supply of a blood thinning little syringes, where every morning I would have to give myself an injection into the stomach to kind of keep my blood thin. And you just get used to needles after a while. People who have diabetes, I'm sure, are very used to this, but it's just, there were parts of my life that I had to get more used to than I didn't think I would have to, but I got so much perspective on. I think perspective is the word I always come back to, is that it's my entire accident is just further proof of just kind of the theory of relativity for me, where it's just like everything that happens, I'm like, relative to what?
Dude, what happened with the money though? Like,
I called the insurance. I called the medical people at one point. I kind of explained. I was like, look, I'm talking to you out in front of my psychiatrist's office now. I'm like, this is a nerve-wracking experience. So like, okay, we'll work through this and everything. And so then I called them back like a week later, and I said, okay, I'm calling regarding this and such account. And this one was like, okay, let me take a look. Okay. That seems to have all been taken care of. I'm sorry. And she's like, no, it looks like the balance was paid off, by an insurance company. So, and I was like, okay. I had one bill that I sent in for like $284 for some radiology thing. She's like, okay, we got that. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. So but it very much became one of those things like the end of like the Seinfeld with George's fiance dying, where you're like, okay, I guess I'll just chalk this up as a win. And as a result, like that's very also kind of keeping in with what a lot of this experience has felt like. Really bad, could have been terrible, looked really bad for a little bit, and then ended up being kind of okay. And that it's a crazy roller coaster to be on. But
I mean, dude, to go from walking out of work, working with Ricky, to like, thinking you're going back to your place
Mhm.
to see your girl, to then be laid up in the hospital, $200,000 in debt,
Mhm.
out of like not able to work,
Mhm.
and she's not got a job and battling depression. Like one of those four things is that's a huge deal to have that. I can't imagine from an emotional standpoint what that was like. And like, yeah, I can't believe you're still here, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Sense of humor.
Yeah.
Sense of humor. Seriously. I remember being in the hospital, and that of the few memories that I have, I do remember saying to my wife while sitting up in the first couple of days, being like, I'm going to get at least 12 minutes out of this. This is, I need to turn this into something. This is no way I'm just going to let this just kind of this is too made of a thing not to find the humor in.
Oh my God.